A rematch of the Battle of Alberta wraps up our triple header in week number 14. It was a lopsided affair on Monday, pushing the Stamps record against the West to a perfect 6-0. But the Elks are hoping that home field advantage will help them avoid the season sweep against their provincial riders. Calgary, Edmonton, coming up on TSN. Big play, VA, 162 yards, 1 TD in Monday's huge victory over the Elks. By the way, we don't call him Big Play VA anymore.
Big Pocket.
We call him Big Pocket
Big
VA.
money.
Because guess what? When his offensive line is great, he takes them out to Ruth Chris. We'll see if there's another dinner in the making tonight.
And the other guy on the other side that this team desperately needs to show up tonight, Justin Rankin. Last week, only 48 yards on the ground. They have to get him involved, and he can do anything for you. He can run. He can catch out of the backfield. Heck, they might need to put him at quarterback tonight. They need him to show up tonight, Milt.
Yes, they do. And another man on the other side who's been showing up all year long, running back. Dietrich Mills, and last week we talked about VA. He even said it himself. He didn't play well. Well, they didn't lead him last week because this man, Dietrich Mills, had 106 yards rushing. He's second in the league in rushing, second in rushing touchdowns. He can do it also, Enoch. He can do it all also.
Should be a great one here. The fans piling into Commonwealth. You know, lots of fans from both sides, too. And here's our thing. When we go to each of these stadiums, we obviously try the foods. We've been here all day long for the triple header, but these are the grub tubs. And the cool part about that, whoa, there goes the chicken fingers.
lost one.
It's okay. They come apart. We got bowls. Milton, I got you popcorn because that's a little bit healthier.
A little bit healthier, right.
And then these straws also turn into some noisemakers as well, by the way. How is it?
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's doing great. Thank you to Edmonton. They have been incredible hosts so far, and they are hoping, too, that by having this game here and maybe, learning a lot, I would say, from that game against the Calgary Stampeders on Monday. And look, it starts with the Stamps D. I think we can all admit that one. VA didn't have a spectacular game by any stretch of the imagination, but what the Stampeders have proven, time in and time out, that all three phases go on this team. And if one's not working, the other one steps up, and it's this well-balanced attack.
Yeah, it's a balanced attack. It's a balanced team. And you can see by the way that they performed last week, 162 yards for Vernon Adams Jr. And this is the starting quarterback that is the leader of this team. And he doesn't need to play his best game for them to win. This is the makings of a Grey Cup winning team. And I don't want to speak ahead of myself, but this is what you want to see. A quarterback that doesn't have to play well all the time. He's got a running game. He's got some receivers. And on defense, these guys can play. These guys can get to the quarterback. They don't even have to bring blitzes all the time, Milt. This is the type of team that you want heading into down the stretch this in the season right now.
Yes, they are a complete team. They play great complementary football. When one unit is not playing well, the other will step up. As we witnessed that last week, VA didn't play well, but their defense and special teams came through. But this is the Labor Day Classic, and we know anything is possible. It's going to take a lot for these Edmonton Elks to win the game, but I think they have something in it. I think this is the biggest crowd they've had all year long. We know Cody Fajardo, he's played in big games. They have enough weapons to get it done. It's going to take a perfect game, but anything is possible. We've seen some upsets this past weekend. No one thought the Ottawa Red Blacks could beat the BC Lions. They got it done. A couple of weeks ago, no one thought the Toronto Argonauts could beat the BC Lions. They got it done. So anything is possible. So if these, like I said, if these Elks can go out there and play a nearly perfect game, have a great opportunity to
and
win.
It's got to start with Justin Rankin. This offense rides behind Justin Rankin. And we talked about the fact that he can do practically everything for this team. And the more he gets involved is the better this offense looks and also performs. They have to get him involved early and often.
96 all-purpose yards in the last game. I completely agree with that. I also think they need more from Cody Fajardo. And that's easy to say, too, when you're staring down the Stamps defense. But in the last game, he really couldn't get much going. 21 of 33, and he is so incredibly efficient. We know that. Those aren't numbers that we typically see from Cody, and no TDs in that game, too. They're going to need more from this leader in this game.
Yeah, he's going to maybe have to take some chances. Because we know if VA and this offense is on, Cody's going to have to be on. And sometimes we know he likes to dink and dunk. Sometimes you just got to throw it up there. Take some chances, allow some of your receivers to make some plays, Dunbar, Rankin, whoever it may be. Because if you think you can just sit back and relax when Vernon Adams and his offense is on, you won't have a chance. Because they're one of the special offenses in this league. So I'm looking for Cody to have a big game. Maybe he can match VA. He has a Grey Cup. VA doesn't have a Grey Cup. He's been the MO MVP of a Grey Cup. There hasn't been VA. So let's hope he can go out there and match VA if he's on his game.
And it's going to take Coach McSimic to open up the playbook and got to get everybody else involved as well. We know Justin Rankin is a guy that can get this offense rolling. But to your point, Kate, Cody Fajardo has to make these plays early and often as well. And he needs to get that offense opened up because, to your point, Milt, you can't. I don't know if this offense has enough firepower to match what VA does.
They don't. They don't.
And then you got to look at the fact, too, the defense has to step up.
Yep.
So, like you said, they have to have a nearly perfect game to be able to win this game.
Well, and it'd be such, I mean, it's the injuries, too. I mean, you look at a guy like Jake Ceresna go down in the last game, too. But for Nick Anderson, too, I mean, we had him. He's actually coming back, which is going to be great. Should be a fabulous game. Let's get you over to the field for the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true strong and free from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you.
Edmonton fans hoping their team can get back to their winning ways after having their 3-game win streak snapped, but it won't be easy as Calgary looks for a repeat performance from Monday. Sheila Bryan of Calgary, Alberta. This is your chance to win big. Thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. Let's get you to the guys calling it, Glenn Suter and Dustin Nielsen.
Thank you, Kate. A beautiful day in Edmonton. Perfect way to wrap up Super Saturday on TSN. A Battle of Alberta rematch, locked and loaded at Commonwealth Stadium. Edmonton was held out of the end zone at McMahon on Monday. 28-7 the final. Once again, Calgary's defense, the star of the show.
Almost all the defensive categories in the league, Calgary's either ranked first or second. They don't have Jalen Hutchings, the interior defensive lineman, for this one tonight, but they will have Florin Arimolade, and that's their leader. 1 sack on Labor Day. He has 30 in his illustrious career for one of the best pass rushers in the league. That defense also contained Justin Rankin on Labor Day. Under 50 yards rushing for the guy the Elks have to get the ball to early and often in this one.
Mark Killiman, his first year running the show in Edmonton, 4-7 on the year, 2-3 at home. And as we mentioned, no touchdown for the team last week. They're also 0-5 against the West this year. Dave Dickinson, perfect against the West. 6-0 and 3-1 on the road. Edmonton won the coin toss, deferred. Calgary will take the ball. This is the 36th time they have met in the Labor Day rematch. Calgary leads the series 18-17, as tight as we saw with the Labor Day battle on Monday as well. The Stampeders have been absolutely rolling over the last month. They've got a bye week looming, but today it's a rematch in the Battle of Alberta, and we are underway in Edmonton. This will be taken just inside the 10. Brought back on the far side, and a great return from Choquette. 39 39 yards, just shy of the 45. And let's get our first look at the day at Vernon Adams Jr.
Well, by his own admission after the Labor Day game, said it was his worst game as a Calgary Stampeder, worst game this year, and they still won. Good special teams contributions, and again, like we talked about, that outstanding defensive performance against the Elks. Look for VA to bounce back tonight.
Just 287 yards of offense last week. It was a season low for Calgary, but it didn't matter because their defense lights out. Adams away quickly, finds Brooks, and it'll be a first down to start for this Calgary offense.
Real young offensive line in the starting group. Preston Nichols will play that left tackle spot out of Purdue. He is a rookie in the Canadian Football League. Start number 3 for him, for Dante Desmarais. And then you take a look at the best game of the season for Dedrick Mills. That was the other part of this offense. Yeah, VA wasn't on his game as far as throwing the football, but Dedrick Mills was. Best game of the season for Mills at 106 yards.
15 yards to Brooks to get us started. VA pump fake, goes right back over the middle. And another completion for Adams, right back to Brooks for about 7 more.
So no Jake Serezna on the D-line for the Edmonton Elks. They'll go with Tyreek Johnson, the interior out of South Carolina. Noah Taylor gets the start as well. Mogeson from South Dakota. Brock will play at the middle linebacker spot for Niles Morgan, who is also out, and Royce Metier wants to pull that group together and see if they can't create some turnovers in this one tonight.
First career start for Mogeson in the middle of that defense. This time on the ground. Mills, short pickup on first down.
Well, I was interested just off the coin toss that Mark Killam won the toss and decided to defer to the second half. Now, he may have some sort of weather report, being the home team, that may be beneficial in the second half, but giving VA the ball, Calgary Stampeders coming off the big win on Labor Day, putting their defense out there to get things started was an interesting decision.
I think the weather forecast is beautiful for the rest of the evening.
Well, it's outstanding. I don't know. Maybe he knows some inside info.
25 degrees at kickoff for this one. They'll hand it back off. Tackle is made.
Well, and I say that because of the injuries. I mean, Jake Serezna out of the lineup. Tyreek Johnson plays for him. Noah Taylor is playing for Robbie Smith, another starter who's out of the lineup. Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson, both injured. That's the top 2 of the best linebackers in the league. Not available for this game for Edmonton, so giving VA the ball out of the gate. It's interesting. See if they can get the stop here and hold him to a field goal attempt.
4 yards for Mills in the first down. They'll need 6 more to keep this drive alive. 3 options out to the left for VA. Looks to his right. Pump fake. Now he lays one out there. Incomplete, but a flag on the play. Trying to find Clark Barnes, but it looks like he's drawn a pass interference.
Take a look at it again. I think it was Tyrell Ford. He was in the one-on-one with Barnes. There was some wrestling. It looked a bit like a punt cover situation. There's Barnes, and there's Tyrell Ford in that field corner, and he's just going to sit on the route. And then with the double move, you can see a little bit of a grab, a little bit of a push. I don't know.
16 yards on the penalty.
I don't know. Okay.
Calgary red zone first time today. Adams, quick hitter. And that one incomplete. Trying to find Philpott. J.J. Ross there in coverage.
Meanwhile, Calgary gets a lot of their weapons back over the last couple of weeks. Jalen Philpott, Damian Alford is back in the lineup, not in the starting lineup tonight as they ease him back in. Clark Barnes missed a couple games with that ankle injury, so VA's weapons returning to the lineup.
Second and long for Adams. Flushed out of the pocket on the run to his right. Looks to the end zone. Did they get it? Yes! Touchdown, Calgary! Philpott's second of the year. And the Stampeders drive the field and strike first.
You're going to see both these quarterbacks tonight scramble, but they have different motivations when they break outside of the pocket or step up into it. For Vernon Adams, it's all about running and negotiating the pocket to throw the football. He's always got his eyes up. He's looking down the field. He's wanting to find an open receiver.
Is under review.
All touchdowns are reviewed by the replay center, so they'll take another look, make sure this ball was caught. And Philpott got his hands under. Did the tip of the football hit the turf?
Try to give you a couple of looks at it.
See VA running to throw. Tough.
Oh, it looks like a little bit of a bobble from that angle. That angle might have been our best one. Here you can see the tip touches.
He's got
Don't see too much movement. Well, a little bit of it.
He's got control when he first catches it.
Close call.
It looks like it rolls out and the turf hits the tip of the football as he's trying to secure it.
Here's the call.
Upon review by the replay center, it was an incomplete pass.
Wow.
It will be second down, 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line.
I think that one angle did show the ball sort of twisted ever so slightly on the turf, but still a close call nonetheless.
Yeah, basically the rule states that the receiver, when he dives for the football like that, it's actually a correction, it's third down.
Yeah, it'd be third down.
Not second. But when you dive for the football and you're in the air, you have to survive contact with the turf. In other words, that ball has to stay secured when you hit the turf. You saw it roll forward. The front of the football hit the turf. That assisted Philpott in the catch, and they'll try a field goal.
Paredes 2 for 2 on Labor Day. Just under 77% on the year, and that one is up and through. And Calgary will strike first, but instead of 7, it is just 3 as Edmonton dodges a bullet early here at home. Cody Fajardo will have the ball when we return to Commonwealth Stadium. Welcome back to Edmonton. I think some people would describe it as a long day at the office for Cody Fajardo last week.
Well, interesting technique for the Calgary Stampeders defensively. Get into that as the game goes on. But yeah, tough game for Cody, who, basically went 21 of 33 for 255, but was sacked 4 times and hit a bunch more. So it was a long day at the office for 7.
3-1 in his last 4 starts. That only loss, of course, coming on Monday down on the road at McMahon. Starts looking to throw here, and he's got a first down as he throws it to the far side of the field and finds O.J. Hilaire, who had his first 3 CFL catches last week.
O.J. Hilaire, good timing on the route and the throw. Just going to turn into that soft spot and come back. Talk to Mark Killam about the 2 young receivers in the lineup, O.J. Hilaire and Benjamin Victor. Excited about both these guys. They got real upside potential.
Fajardo again, wide open again, and it's Hilaire again inside the 40, first down Edmonton. And a couple of quick answers here. That one goes for 18 from Fajardo.
Yeah, back-to-back similar defenses. So Cody Fajardo feels like, well, we just flipped the side, went to the opposite side of the field, same set, same formation. Even our camera guy was influenced a little bit by that play-action fake to Justin Rankin and an open Hilaire.
Quick anti-shout-out to the Elks for wearing the green jerseys with the green numbers on them. The thin little yellow outline, it doesn't help us. A work from the Calgary 39. This time on the ground, Rankin, nowhere to go. Positive push of maybe a yard or 2. Let's take a look at Edmonton's starting offense.
Yeah, take a look up front. This was sort of a last-second change, but they moved David Beard back into center and Mark Corte out to guard. He likes that guard spot. 100 starts for Corte. And there's the 2 young receivers I talked about. Benjamin Victor out of Ohio State and O.J. Hilaire out of Bowling Green. They need one of those 2 guys at least to step up and be a target for Cody Fajardo.
They both had multiple catches on Monday. 2nd and 8 for Fajardo here. Calgary sends 5. Fajardo steps up, has a ton of room. Now he's going to take off. field. Cody's got the first down, but we'll have to figure out what that penalty is after he gains 12 yards on the ground.
First of all, how about the different styles between VA when he runs and Cody Fajardo when he runs?
Edmonton, number 11. A 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay second down.
So that offside takes the gain away by Keon Julian Grant. He's out there at that wideout spot. Looks like change motion, and he just gets a jump and is well past the neutral zone when the ball is snapped. So that comes back. But you see, as soon as Cody breaks the pocket, he is looking to run. Like, take the ball, tuck it under his arm, and go get the first down himself.
And VA's still thinking.
He's looking down the field for a receiver.
First down, wiped off the board. 2nd and 13 instead. 4 to the right for Cody. Throws to the left. That'll get them back within field goal range inside the 40, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
But that's a good decision by a veteran quarterback. You heard the panel guys talk about Enoch and Milt talk about how Cody is a high percentage passer, veteran quarterback's got to have a big game here, bigger than Labor Day. But that's a decision. Get him back in field goal range. Don't take that offside call and then stack another bad decision on top of it. Give your field goal kicker a chance to tie the game.
Voyager 2 of 3 last week. Comes into this game with the exact same numbers. 20 of 26 as Paredes on the other side of the ball. That one is up. And he sneaks it inside for 3. Some tense moments at Commonwealth, but we are tied at 3 midway through the opening quarter. Vernon Adams Jr. turning around the fortunes of the Calgary Stampeders, and he'll get the ball again when we return to Edmonton. Well, statistically last week, Vernon Adams Jr. didn't really blow anybody away, but he came away with a victory once again.
Yeah, protected the football well. You know, didn't have big numbers, just 162 yards rushing in the touchdown, 13 of 23. But again, got contributions from his special teams and a big return. Defense played outstanding, kept Cody Fajardo on the run and contained Justin Rankin. And Calgary gets the team win.
2 of 4 on their first drive for 23 yards. Had that pass to Philpott that looked like a touchdown, but moved when it hit the turf. He goes to former Elk Tevin Jones, and just a couple of yards for Jones.
One of the star performers in that game on Labor Day was Eric Brooks, contributing in the, he's going to play defense most of the game here in this one tonight, but contributed last week on the special teams with that huge punt return touchdown, his first ever. Had another one. We'll get to that later as the game goes on. He had another one in college, but I'll tell you what happened there. His first one in his career at any level last week.
VA looking for 8 more. Edmonton sends 3. Adams sends a ball down the field, drops it in there for Brooks. Metier trying to stop him, and he'll yank him out of bounds. But a big strike back into the hands of Brooks. His 3rd of the ball game already, and this one bangs for 55.
There he is, contributing this time in the offense as he's going to run the corner from that number 2 spot. Real shallow corner as they try to change motion. Little inside move, and then he's got the DB twisting and turning. Goes back outside towards the sideline and reels that one in. Playing with great confidence, more comfortable now after an injury ended his season last year. Big punt return last week. That's a nice catch. Biggest one of the night for Calgary.
2nd trip to the red zone today for Calgary. This time they'll give it to Mills. Gets a block. Takes it down to the 5. And he will be denied the end zone, but a great burst from Mills to take them inside the 5.
Got to secure that edge. Let's see if they got that done. It looked like Preston Nichols on that left tackle spot with a nice down block. That got the Blanco up into block from the fullback, or actually that's Dominic Rhymes, who steps up and gets that 2nd key block to get his teammate Mills outside.
Monster season for Mills. Quincy Vaughn in at quarterback, trying to push it ahead. his way down inside the 2, close to the 1. And we'll see they'll line that up and probably just do it again.
Yeah, just do it one more time. You got 2 there. You only need 1 more. Of course,
that's from the 4-yard line they decided to set up and just push it ahead.
That's Preston Nichols again from that tackle spot, getting a real good push on the left side. Vaughn went right behind him.
Jared Brinkman is down, one of the interior defensive linemen for Edmonton. He was a game-time decision last week. There's Serezna watching on. He's unable to go. We're going to step away as they take a look at Brinkman. Brinkman is up and off the field. Didn't look good, though. And they're already starting to have some injuries pile up here, Suits.
Yeah, as Mark Killam told us this week, that's his leadership group. That's half of his leadership group now sidelined with injury. Brinkman's not going to help. They did dress 10 defensive linemen for this game tonight. So Congo will get some more playing time, and Jordan Williams, who just signed.
Vaughn will look to finish it again, pushing it ahead, and he's in. No doubt this time. Touchdown, Calgary. Quincy Vaughn's got his 3rd of the year, and the visitors go on top.
Look at the size of Quincy Vaughn as he turns around to celebrate with his teammates. It's like having an offensive guard take the snap, go off the right side, and go ahead and bow your neck and get ready to try and hit him.
6'4", 250.
Coming off the right side this time. Changes it up from the last one on 1st down, and yeah, he just got key blocks up front, folded the left side of the defensive line for Edmonton, and away he goes.
Let's go.
Paredes is up, and that is no good. And it'll be brought out of the end zone by Javon Leak. Here goes Leak the other way. He'll find the 30. Leak cuts it back and is forced out of bounds by the punter, who talked some trash after Bassett, who is holding for Paredes. And Paredes misses on the extra point for the 2nd time this season.
Take a look, and it wasn't by much. I think it might have even hit the flag.
It looked like it moved it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It hit the flag on the outside of the pole. So it was clearly a miss. And they got to get Javon Leak going somehow, either on offense or special teams just like this, because he's just too good a football player to have the numbers that he has. Take a look at the hold. Get that lace out of there. There you go. Nice. Not too bad. Every kicker likes it a little bit different as far as the slant, so I don't want to judge that from Bassett.
Very little wind today. See the flags at the top of the stadium blowing ever so slightly, but the flags in the stadium pretty much not moving at all.
There's a kicker in Saskatchewan right now saying, see, other guys missed too. Big win by the Riders in the rematch in the Banjo Bowl just before our game.
And hopefully Kolaris is okay after leaving that one with a heavy hit. Paredes will hammer it away. This is bobbled. Now picked up by Leak. Can he find a little bit of space? Not really. Back to just shy of the 30 with just over 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Cody Fajardo has started the game 3 of 3 for 35 yards.
That's what I mean about Javon Leak. I mean, remember last year in the offense, he had, you know, over 100 carries and 661 yards, 6 touchdowns rushing on offense. And I asked Mark Killam this week, I said, is there any way with the ratio and everything else you got to juggle, can you play both Justin Rankin and Javon Leak at the same time on offense? He said, yeah, we can do it, and we've done it a little bit throughout the year.
I'll give it to Rankin this time. And he's able to push that out beyond the 35. Let's take a look at Calgary's defense.
Well, they don't have Jalen Hutchings. What a season he is having. Hopefully it's just one game. They do have a bye as well, so hopefully we see him back. Josiah Coatney will play in his spot in the defensive line. It's been an outstanding defense. Adam Bighill plays in game 2. Now, he's going to rotate a little bit with Micah Teitz, but we put him in the starting lineup. And Jaden Grant, outstanding rookie performance, certainly last week, but this secondary is young, not playing young.
Back to Hilaire again. Busy day for him, his 3rd catch of the ball game.
Yeah, Bighill made the tackle on that one. And see, when Adam Bighill last week played about 21, 22 plays, according to Coach Dickinson, and some of those were short yardage. But how about getting a guy like Adam Bighill on an already top-ranked defense in the league and saying, here's a guy that's going directly to the Hall of Fame, added to your group.
Fajardo has this one batted down. That was Clarence Hicks, who has become a nightmare for quarterbacks around this league.
Last week on Labor Day, Clarence Hicks was asked to go into a spy technique. And this time he's lined up on the line of scrimmage. And spy technique meaning they rushed 3, and then they had Clarence Hicks spy Cody Fajardo. And it worked to perfection for Bob Slowick, the defensive coordinator. What a great game plan that put a lot of pressure on Cody Fajardo.
Empty backfield for Fajardo this time. Julian Grant pushed out of bounds by Jaden Grant, and they'll be short of a first down.
So let me show you what happened on Labor Day against Cody Fajardo. The game plan here is to have the spy being Hicks. Arimolade has got to be the speed rusher off the edge to flush Cody Fajardo up into the pocket, into those defensive tackles, but they've got the spy. So Clarence Hicks is playing James Bond back there. He's just spying Cody. Whichever way he tries to escape, then he gets him on the run, and they rally to bring him down. I'll just watch in this game tonight to see if they do the same thing with Fajardo with Hicks.
Jake Julian, who returned to the team last week, a towering kick that bounces at the 2 and then all the way into the back corner of the end zone. A 77-yard kick from Julian. Best weather that Edmonton has had for a home game so far this year. It is picture perfect in Alberta. It's been an excellent season so far for the Calgary Stampeders. And for more on that, we're going to send it down to Tom Gazzola.
Yeah, Dusty, obviously, you got to like what you're seeing if you're a fan of the Stampeders. And with the back-to-back here, going into this week, both teams actually talking about the cat and mouse game that goes on, having faced each other twice in a short period of time. Mark Cordy, Elks O-lineman, says he was looking for some tells last week. And then we heard Dave Dickinson say that he saw some things that the Elks were giving away. So that cat and mouse game, Cordy says he didn't want to give away all the secrets, but things like stance, 2-point or 3-point, alignment, feet, things like that he's going to use today. And then, of course, we'll see if that helps keep Fajardo on his feet and giving him a little bit more time.
Thank you, Tom. All about adjustments, Jason.
Yeah.
Whether it's halftime or between games.
And becoming a pro at this level.
Adams gets it away. Tackle made just in time, or Barnes had some daylight.
You know, becoming a pro at this level, meaning you have to become a student of the game. If you're not watching much film or video while you're in college and you're just getting by on your athleticism, which can help and which is part of it, you're going to have to when you take the next step into the pro level. You got to watch a ton of tape. You got to look for those tells. Dave Dickinson said in back-to-back games like these two guys are playing right now, he said, we put together the 2-game game plan last week. Getting them ready for this one last week.
2nd and 4. Edmonton brings pressure. VA can't get away. And he will be taken down by the defense. Pongbo among others.
Combo with a little bit of a twist from the linebackers outside. He's got to go a long way around to get to VA here. So a little help from the coverage in the back end. No hot throw for VA there, so he has to hop, try to find an opening, and Combo gets there.
First sack of the season for Combo. Sets up a 3rd and long, and Calgary will be forced to punt. Bassett is in. He's averaging 49 per kick this year. This one will be let go just inside his own 30. Bounces out of bounds inside the Edmonton 15, a 59-yard kick. The hit HBO original docuseries is back with an unprecedented all-access look at one of the NFL's top teams, Hard Knocks training camp with the Buffalo Bills, now streaming only on Crave. Bills open up Sunday night against the Ravens in a big one.
So, Dusty, you're a CFL fantasy fan. Where are you in that? How are you doing in that?
In CFL fantasy?
CFL fantasy.
I'm actually first place in my league. Thank you.
First place.
Yes.
So you're the front runner for the NFL fantasy coming up. Have you already had your draft there?
I've done about a dozen of them. I'm a bit of a fantasy degenerate both sides of the border. Here's Fajardo. Finds Victor. Victor turned around and Webb was all over him. Nowhere to go. And that'll do it for the opening quarter of this ball game. The Calgary Stampeders, who took the Labor Day game at home on Monday, have a lead through 15 minutes, 9-4 here in Edmonton. Calgary leading Edmonton 9-4 after the first quarter. Edmonton, we saw it. They didn't get a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the red zone yet today, Suits. How do they get going on?
Yeah, they've got to start generating some offense somehow, especially with the injuries that we've noted on defense. And to do that, I know right now on the sideline, right here in Edmonton, Enoch Mwamba is writing on his notepad, Justin Rankin. Only 8 yards in that first quarter of Justin Rankin. He's their leading receiver and leading rusher, not touching the ball enough.
He's got big play potential. Fajardo spins away. Now he's in trouble. There's a flag as he's taken out of bounds by Webb. That flag back towards the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a hold, I believe.
Yeah, Sean Peterson was signaling, as an official would, that it was a penalty. And usually that's the player that was held if it is a holding call.
Holding. Edmonton number 62. That penalty is declined. The result of the play will be third down.
All right, so they will decline the penalty. And it's third and about 3 yards, so they'll be forced to kick it away again. Let's try to pick it up. It was on the left tackle, Martez Ivy.
Well, this second down play, I'm also looking to see if they run that spy technique. This time Arimolade is the spy. Hicks goes up the field. And there's your holding, just to the top of your screen.
Julian, who set a CFL record last season, 54 yards per kick last year. This was a high one. He hangs up there.
That's a
little bit of room, at least to stretch it out for now. But Edmonton, a good job to make sure there was nothing cooking for Eric Brooks, who basically sealed the game away on Monday.
Yeah, what an exciting return for Eric Brooks. And yes, it was still a game, one possession game, when Eric Brooks took it back to the house, really blew that game open for Calgary, and they cruised to victory after that. Confidence is so important for young players, different level, different league, different rules to understand. Does love the wide field, though.
Most returners probably do. Mills slides back into the left of Vernon Adams, and they're going to give it to Dedrick Mills. He's going to run into some trouble, and he'll be taken down to Blanco.
So let's take you back to Labor Day. Close football game at this point. And Eric Brooks takes this one. Looks like he's going to a middle return, then puts the brakes on and peels all the way back to the far sideline. And away he goes for an 86-yarder. His first that counted in his football career. That's at all levels. And was a returner through his time in college as well.
3 yards on the ground for Mills. 2nd and 7 for Adams. 3 to his left. Looks in that direction. Throws in that direction. He's got Rhymes, but it's popped out on the near sideline. A heavy blow. Cordell Jackson delivers it.
Yeah, he separates the football from the receiver. That's just excellent timing from Cordell Jackson. Now, he played a lot early in the season in the linebacking corps, so he knows how to hit. Comes downhill on this one, and Rhymes, who's become a favorite target for Vernon Adams. Just not much he could do about that. That was a hit right on the football.
Back-to-back 2-and-outs for the visitors. And now this kick will fly out of bounds. Just a 32-yard punt that time. Cody Fajardo trying to find a way to generate some offense against a stingy Stampeders D. We've been talking a lot about this Calgary defense, but let's give you a look at the numbers.
Well, the most important points against, and they are leading the league like 10 points ahead of the team they're playing here tonight. I mean, they've been first pretty much all season long, and between, one day we'll have a discussion about this. What's the better defense in the league right now, Calgary's or Saskatchewan's?
Off the top of my head, I think Calgary, but it's a good debate. And look at this, perfect timing. Fajardo in trouble. Hicks gets him, takes him down. 7th sack of the season for number 12 in red and white.
He's just having himself a season. That's his 7th sack. He's got 5 tackles for losses. He's a little bit undersized for most defensive ends, but so quick because of that. And he just beats Martez Ivy to the inside, an inside straight pass rush, and Cody Fajardo has no chance.
He is under 100 pounds lighter than Ivy. Like, Hicks comes in at 6'2", 229. Extremely quick on that defensive line. Fajardo, deep drop. And looking for Leak out there with the offense, falls at his feet. Not sure they would have had anything even if he caught it. And they'll be forced to kick it away.
So here's what we showed you with Hicks on Labor Day with the spy technique. Here's number 12. He steps up, and then he'll sit there spying on the quarterback. So playing that James Bond role to go one way or the other, depending on which way that Cody Fajardo is flushed. And Clarence Hicks did a nice job of it last week. Back to it again here tonight.
Julian, low kick, bounces just outside the 45. Brooks will grab it. A 54-yard boot. Nowhere to go really on the return. Good coverage downfield by Edmonton. Clarence Hicks picking up here on Saturday where he left off on Monday in the backfield in Fajardo's face. Dedrick Mills, who are watching here this evening, having an outstanding year for the Calgary Stampeders. Just shy of 77 yards per game coming into this one.
Had a 100-yard game against Winnipeg. A better game last week. His best of the season at 106. And, yeah, you look at those yards per game.
Closing in on a career high. VA hit as he throws. And it is incomplete. Some pressure in the face of Vernon Adams Jr. And he bounces up looking for a flag. As of this moment, there isn't one.
No, but he's talking, and it looked like the head official is communicating with the replay center, who can take a quick look at it to decide whether he was hit in the head or not.
Jalen Garnes was the linebacker who got there.
Yeah, Garnes is clean off the edge. Did he The timing wasn't off, I don't think. It looked like it may just have been the target.
And right now the right tackle, Coker, is down. They're looking at his left leg. Looks like he's going to be okay, but ready to help him up. Dickinson not happy that there was no flag thrown on the play. Dickey's a little fired up, saying right in the face. You can see that. I'm not going to say everything else he's saying.
And then I believe it was friendly fire. Vernon Adams
rolled into Coker, yeah.
Into Coker. Replay center didn't step in there.
They got to look at it. Battle of Alberta starting to heat up a little bit here in Edmonton. 2nd and 10 for Adams. Spins away from a little bit of trouble. Takes off. Tracked down by Taylor. And it'll be a 3rd down for Calgary.
Just a great hustle play by Noah Taylor. He's got 3 sacks coming in. He's off the edge down at the bottom here. He goes up the field, gets the chip, gets the double team essentially, but stays with the play and catches Vernon Adams from behind. Vernon Adams can run, and occasionally he will take off, tuck the ball, and try and pick up yards on his own. Noah Taylor tracked him down from behind.
No Serezna, no Brinkman, who left this game, and no Niles Morgan, and that's the 3rd consecutive 2-and-out here for the Stampeders offense.
No Nick Anderson, no Robbie Smith added to that list.
This is a towering punt. That was way up there. 53 yards. Return, not happening. Back to about the 20. And that was it for Leak.
Another great country song about beer, trucks, or girls.
That's it. It's basically been the whole industry for 100 years. And I love it.
I love it too.
Country music booth here. All right, Fajardo 6 of 8, 75%, just 54 yards though. Not much on the ground so far. They'll try to go to Rankin here. And Rankin breaks a couple of tackles. And look at this, the race is on. Rankin in midfield. Can he get there to the 40, the 30, the 20? See you later. Rankin, touchdown Edmonton. What a run. 90 yards to the house for Rankin.
Justin Rankin gets involved in the offense, and the offense finds some traction. No coincidence. Number 5 is their best player on offense. They get him the football, and good things happen. Real quick feet, quick twitch at the line of scrimmage. Couple of jump cuts, and then away he goes. And this is the acceleration. Flat out running by people. You cannot coach speed, and Rankin's got a bunch of it.
First touchdown allowed by the Calgary defense in 8 quarters. And it had to be 90 yards from Rankin.
Couple of key jump cuts there. Vision, head up. And then it's about outrunning angles. Moncrief can't catch him. Anthony Johnson from the backside couldn't catch him.
Cody Fajardo happy to see it after being held out of the end zone all of Labor Day. A big one sparks the offense for Edmonton. And a rarity against a Calgary defense that's usually just locked right down.
All right, look at this.
This might be hazard pay for the panel on the back of the fire truck.
Just looking at the arm technique from all 3 panels, including Kate.
Too much fun when they're on the road.
Kate's got some follow through there. Kate completed 85% of her throws. It's a PFF stat.
Edmonton with the lead. Very intrigued to see what Adams does when he comes back out onto the field. Here's Brooks on the return. Brooks with a flag back inside the 20 is taken down just outside the 30.
Well, we talked about his return ability and how Calgary may have found their guy in Eric Brooks. Here's his one back in his college days. Said he had one in the bowl game, New Mexico State versus his
Calgary,
school, Fresno.
77, 10-yard penalty. First down.
Looked quite similar to the one he had last weekend. However, after the celebration, he turned around and, yeah, see the right corner of the screen? Flag.
I'll say it, man. Flags ruin everything. They really do. And
the return that just happened,
it's coming back.
Guess what?
It's coming back due to a flag.
Yeah.
All the way back to the Calgary 6. Dedrick Mills, 4 carries so far in this game. I wonder if they try to get him really activated on this drive. They'll give it to him. Busts through one tackle and stumbles ahead before he's pinned down by DeBlanco. 4-yard pickup for Mills.
Yeah, without that Joel DeBlanco tackle there, he just kind of threw his right arm in there and caught his legs. I think Dedrick Mills might have had himself a nice 15, 20-yarder anyway.
Calgary trying to avoid a 4th consecutive 2-and-out. 2nd and 6 is what they face deep in their own territory. Adams bouncing around the pocket, gets it away, incomplete, was looking for his running back Mills, but he threw it at his feet, and a 4th consecutive 2-and-out for Calgary against the banged-up Edmonton defense.
We talked about what Vernon Adams said right after the game, that it was his worst game of the season. And you look at it again and really break it down. Yeah, the Elks didn't score a touchdown, but their defense played very well for 2.5 quarters. I mean, after that first Dominic Rhymes touchdown in the Labor Day matchup, they really shut Calgary's offense down. Now, they don't create the turnovers, and that's what their captain and Royce Metier talked to us about this week.
Leak takes it at the 50. Spun off one tackle, but is wrapped up right away by Roberts and taken down. But good field position for the home side. Edmonton here in a Labor Day rematch. Battle of Alberta. A quick look at the great rivalry between these two clubs. And when you're playing in back-to-back games, things can get a bit heated. Got to stay disciplined. For more on that, down to Tom Gazzola.
Dusty, that was the message from Dave Dickinson to his Stamps team going into game 2 of this back-to-back. He says, toe the line. He didn't like a few of the penalties that his team took on Monday. A couple of things that irked him a little bit. He said no pre-snap stuff and no selfish penalties. He says penalties like that show a lack of focus. Now, Jacob Roberts, his linebacker, said he echoes the sentiments of his head coach. He says, stay mean between the whistles. And guys, last week on the sidelines didn't notice a lot of bad blood. Maybe today some big hits and some pops, and we could see things spill over a little bit on the field.
Just one penalty in this game so far for Calgary for 6 yards. So discipline thus far. Back to Rankin again. And a pretty decent pickup on first down as he takes it on to Calgary's side of the field.
Yeah, pre-snap penalties, those are the ones that are a concentration issue. And look at how Justin Rankin, after that long run, is climbing right in behind of James Butler. Game last night in Ottawa. Congratulations to the Red Blacks in their win. But yeah, you know, this, first of all, Dave Dickinson called this the blood and guts game. The rematch is the blood and guts game. It's a short week. Tempers are high. It's a rival down the road. Got to maintain that focus and concentration.
2nd and 4. First down from Fajardo as he gets it into the hands of Julian Grant. Rankin does have another 100-yard game on the ground. That's just his second of the year, but he also leads his team in receiving yards.
A good hot throw here from Cody Fajardo. And Tom mentioned Jacob Roberts, talking to him this week, and he said we want to play mean between the whistles. Put the mean on between the whistles.
Be mean in between. I like to put it on a shirt. Here's Rankin again. And that tackle made by Tights.
What a year Jacob Roberts is having. I mean, you want to see a full stat sheet? How about 65 defensive tackles coming in, couple quarterback sacks, couple tackles for losses. Take a look at the overall list. Tackle leaders in the CFL. Michael Alway leads the way. Tony Jones second. And then Jacob Roberts.
Roberts has 23 more tackles than anybody else on that Stampeders defense.
Yeah.
And that's a good defense. This guy's been all over the place. Second and 4 for Fajardo. Gets it away. Another completion. Back to Julian Grant for another first down. And Edmonton marching right now.
Julian Grant's going to use the waggle to his advantage. He's kind of walking out here pretending like he's not involved, and then he's just going to wrap around into that right around the numbers and is wide open. Looks like he's going to run the out, but just sits down. And another first down for Edmonton. Little confidence after the Rankin run.
From the Calgary 31.
McKellar, the right guard, to get big on big. Lock up his defensive lineman right in the gap where Justin Rankin wants to hit it. There he is right here. Watch the big on big block. Again, no Jalen Hutchings in the interior. That's Miles Brown. He's locked up with McKellar. That opens up that lane, and then an inside spin move on Micah Tights, I believe, and he is in the end zone.
31-yard scamper for Rankin. Finishes off a 5-play, 58-yard drive that took just under 3 minutes. Have yourself a half. Justin Rankin, 6 carries, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And late in the half. I mean, first quarter, we came out of that break in the first quarter saying he's had a handful of touches for 8 yards. And then in the second quarter, just a reminder to Jordan McSimon. He must have been up there going, you know what? We haven't got the ball enough to number 5. A couple of big runs. All of a sudden, all 3 phases now playing with more confidence for Edmonton.
Instead of the quarter break, Enoch writing down.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Rankin.
Justin Rankin. Now Enoch's down there with big check marks. There it goes. There we go. Or he's throwing to the crowd.
He's too busy.
Either he's not taking notes. They're down there messing around playing. Love it.
Everybody.
Rankin's last 4 touches have gone for 133 yards.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh boy, what does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
Hang in for that second half.
Brooks takes it cleanly at the 5. He's got some room to ramp it up. And he's tripped up just outside the 30. The NFL season is back, and TSN has your front row seat to every game all season long with a 4-month pass for just $69.99. Subscribe at tsn.ca/subscribe/NFL now. The offer will end September 30th. Terms do apply. Now that'll get you access to every game on the sked.
Now VA needs a little sense of urgency in this drive here. Try and get a little bit of the momentum back if he can before the halftime break.
Josiah Shackle is down. Former University of Alberta Golden Bear. Plays special teams. Calgary so far, Philpott had that near touchdown that was called back. Philpott does not have a catch. Rhymes does not have a catch. Alford doesn't have a catch. Yet in this game, Brooks has 3, Barnes has 1, and Jones has 1. So Vernon Adams, maybe time to get some of the big boys involved. Just 5 of 10 so far for VA.
Yeah, and the quick passing game can do that. You know, the bubble screens, the quick slants, things like that, just to get them going. And it's probably an overused term to say get them in rhythm, but that's exactly what you're trying to do. Just get a couple of first downs together, stack a few, and then you start to build with that confidence. Take your shot down the field if you want, but it also has to involve a little bit of Dedrick Mills. I mean, this team all season long has had great balance in the offense. That's why they've been good on offense, is to Dedrick Mills. They're, as a team, the #1 rushing team in the league coming into this game tonight.
Almost 120 yards per game.
Yeah.
Mills has just 5 touches so far in this one.
So it's, you know, it's about balance. It's about getting that play action going once you establish the run a little bit. And just like all of a sudden the Elks have figured out that Rankin's kind of important to them, Dedrick Mills equally as important to Calgary's offense.
Yeah, Mills is one of those guys. You put together a drive where he touches it 8, 9 times, and he's giving you 7, he's giving you 8, and it makes things a lot easier. We were chatting with Pat Delmonico a couple of weeks ago prior to the Labor Day game, and he said the combination of what Mills can do with the threat of Vernon Adams also running has really made things much easier for the ground attack for the Stampeders.
Well, when that happens, it widens the defensive line. It creates greater gaps between the defensive tackles and the defensive ends. That's a bit of a simplification, but if Vernon Adams is pressing the edge and a threat to get outside of contain, the defensive ends right here will widen out a little bit.
Shackle is up and off the field. VA turns, hands it off to Mills, and Mills will push it ahead. DeBlanco, Metier work together on the tackle there.
Well, that's the other interesting one here to me, is that with no Niles Morgan and no Nick Anderson in the lineup, a little surprised with this deep in the game, and Dedrick Mills is just getting, what, his 6th carry. Test those linebackers.
Brock Mogeson making his first start on the defense in the middle of it. That middle linebacker for Edmonton. 2nd and 8 for Adams. Get up there. Finds Brooks again. Brooks makes a man miss, stays on his feet and takes it out beyond the 50, and I don't think you can overstate how important that was for Calgary's offense.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely. Big drive. Even a field goal here for Calgary can slow some of this Edmonton momentum for the Stampeders. A little quick slant. There's the slant we're talking about. A little quick game. Get the ball out of VA's hands. Get a couple first downs. 17-yard gain for Brooks.
Brooks has 95 yards receiving. The rest of the group has 9. Now they'll get it out to Philpott. Have to turn around to haul it in. And he runs in to Kobe Williams after picking up 3.
You know, and some may say, well, if you run the ball and only get 2, and then you do that little fly screen out there and only get 3, you're putting yourself in 2nd and long. But it's a world of difference between 2nd and 7 and 2nd and 10 plus. A world of difference. It's only 3 yards, but it's a big 3.
They'll be looking for 7 here. 3 options out to the right for Adams. Looks in that direction. Now back to the left. Finds Jones. He'll be spotted just inside the Edmonton 50. About half a yard shy of what I believe to be a first down. And that'll take us inside 3 minutes here in Edmonton. And it is the Elks with an 18-9 lead on their rivals from Calgary.
Back for the 3-minute warning, and these Elks are having a great first half. But the story has to be Kate Burness. Are you serious, Kate? Is that who you're with now, punter? I thought you were engaged to Stripes in Hamilton. This is what we're doing, Kate? Wow, I can't believe it. Back to you guys.
This has been a busy first half for King.
Yeah.
He's been all over the place. Settle in. Great halftime coming up. Panel. Long day here in Edmonton for the triple header. 3rd and short. Vaughn pushing it ahead. They'll try to hang on to him, but it doesn't matter. He only needed inches, and he got more than that.
A Labor Day game, I asked Dave Dickinson, I said, about this place on the field in that Labor Day matchup, you went on 3rd and 2 in short yardage. Are you that confident in Quincy Vaughn on 3rd and 2 at midfield? He goes, yeah, I kind of didn't want to do that, but we did it anyway and got it. And he is confident in his short yardage quarterback getting a good push.
Important drive late in the half for Calgary. Kind of stalled a bit offensively. Starting to rev back up here. Adams gets that one away quickly, but it's short of Barnes. Ford took a run at it, didn't he?
Yeah, Tyrell Ford, this is one of the things that we talked to Metier about, that they need to create some turnovers, become more aggressive, take some shots at some of these picks. They only have 2 interceptions on the season after 11 games. Tyrell Ford has one of them. He had that pick 6 against Montreal, but Jake Serezna has the other.
He's not here. Adams bouncing around the pocket. Going to take off. Can they track him down? No. First down inside the 35 as Adams uses his feet to keep this drive alive. 16 yards for the Calgary quarterback.
Well, right when I say he's often trying to scramble to throw the football, it was lockdown time for the secondary of the Elks. He didn't like what he saw there. He reloaded a couple of times and then decided to just take off and gets the first down.
Tracked down by Elijah Alston in the lineup today for Edmonton.
Sense of urgency's there for the veteran quarterback.
8th play of this drive, working from the Edmonton 31. Looking for a second look. Now he's going to take off. Running it again. This time he'll be taken down by DeBlanco. Bounces back up after picking up 7 yards.
Quincy Vaughn came in. You know, we always see him on short yardage, but he has actually played as a receiver when they had some injuries, and now he's in there for some blocking help. Look at 19 out in front of Vernon Adams, and in fact, probably saves a pretty big hit there from DeBlanco. He ends up tackling him, but that would have been one of those run-through explosion hits, if not for that little block there from Quincy Vaughn.
That was a great look at it there as Vaughn steps in front to just slow DeBlanco down a little bit. DeBlanco, the first overall pick in 2024 for Edmonton. 2nd and 3 for Adams. Edmonton's going to bring some heat. VA gets it away. Almost intercepted. Trying to find Rhymes. Covered well by Kobe Williams, the former Calgary Stampeder.
Go with blitz. There's a blitz beater. It's usually a hot route. Boom, boom. You just have to connect, and if you do, it's a score. No safety in the middle. Dominic Rhymes heading to the middle. If the timing and you get it out of there before the blitz gets home, it's that cat and mouse game that Tom mentioned on the sideline. Can I get it out of my hands before that free guy gets to me and hit my receiver on the inside route? And they just missed.
31-yard attempt for Paredes. Did miss an extra point tonight. That one up. And he sneaks it inside the uprights. And we've got a 6-point game with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Big drive, though, for Calgary. I think it's an important drive that they got it to within that one score. They're looking like now it's just a 6-point game. And Vernon Adams, you saw that extra sense of urgency. Took off and scrambled a couple times. Took some big hits doing it. And then they get the field goal. You know, they wanted the major, but takes a little momentum out of the sails. Now, Cody Fajardo has some time here. Maybe match that field goal.
Halftime coming up. We'll send you down to the panel, just down to our left here at Commonwealth. Fajardo.
Shot.
Wants a big shot down the field. Trying to drop it in there. That was close. And the officials are going to come together for a little chat. O.J. Hilaire
taking a shot down the rail. A little play action that is with Rankin and his couple of plays here in this first half.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Player catch the football out of bounds. It will be second down.
Had the feet down, but then sort of bounced up.
Well,
when he went to caught the ball and landed out of bounds.
Exactly, and I think the official on the spot thought his feet were planted when he first made the catch because he was inside the stripe, but he was in the air. So he jumps up here. Now he has the catch, and then when the feet come down, you only need one inbounds. They're both on the white stripe. It's a correct call by the official.
The hands had it. The feet did not help him out. 68 seconds on the clock. First time tonight that Fajardo really decided to go down the field. Now he's going to dump it off. There's a flag as Leak is contained on the play.
Yeah, Derek Moncrief basically just plastered himself against Justin Rankin there.
Holding Edmonton number 62. That penalty is declined. It will be third down.
So not much time coming off the clock on that possession for Edmonton, and Julian will come out to kick it away to Brooks.
Yeah, now there's time for Vernon.
Just 12 seconds off the clock prior to what we're going to see here.
Oh, they're going to have to reset it.
Timer, please reset the game clock at 1:02 and the 20-second clock.
So Mark Killam with the punt team can run this 20 seconds down, not give Vernon Adams as little time as possible. No, they're going to reset it again.
A little bit of a clock issue there as it jumped all the way down to 1 second. Quickly corrected. And it'll be blown in.
And it starts. So at 20-second clock, we run right down to about 5 before they snap the ball.
See Brooks in the distance awaiting this kick. Julian will hang it up there, way up there. Brooks backpedals, takes it inside the 15, a 61-yard kick, and he'll be tracked down on the near sideline. That's DeBlanco again, and he's been all over the place here in the first half.
Jake Julian has a big leg. We know that. And, you know, one of the issues on that big return last week was that he outkicked his coverage.
Hey, so did I with my wonderful wife.
Yeah, me too.
But it was a 67-yard bomb last week on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it just gives the returner that little bit of extra time. And Coach Killam said he's talked to Jake Julian about, yeah, we love your big leg, but directional punting is more important than that extra distance.
Adams has just over half a minute to work. Down the field, broken up. Cordell Jackson steps just inside of Tevin Jones. 2nd and 10.
Now, maybe it's the score, maybe it's the rivalry, maybe it's that they've got a big crowd here at home, biggest crowd of the season. But this, to me, is the most aggressive the Elks secondary have played all season. A couple of plays like this from Tyrell Ford. We've seen Cordell Jackson with a couple of plays like that. They're attacking the football.
They'll just send 4 again. Adams has a ton of time. Where's he going to go with it? Down the field. Oh, a big hit on Barnes by Kenneth Logan Jr. And the ball is incomplete.
Extra linebacker slash DB slash safety. And he times up his hit. And Barnes can't hang on. But they were 4 deep shell with underneath coverage as well. Good thing that Barnes is okay there. Landed on his shoulder, not his head.
Bassett, a low kick this time. That'll bounce just inside the 40. Leak has to hustle all the way back. He'll pick it up after a 64-yard kick. Finds one block. Won't get another, and he's taken down by Sean Peterson Jr. with the special teams tackle and 8 seconds on the clock.
You see you got the 2 shoes there, Javon Lee. That's to distract. No, I'm sure he's got his own reason. He's got his own reason for it, but that's an interesting combination there. Team colors, though.
Looks pretty sharp.
Somewhere else, there's 2 boxes of shoes.
I was just going to say, there's another pair. There's almost exactly the same somewhere else.
There's a left green and a right yellow somewhere.
And Fajardo will just step up under center. And Edmonton is going to head to the room in the rematch with an 18-12 lead.
You know, Milt Stegall said not many expected Ottawa to beat BC this weekend, and they did. You know, we go back to the BC-Toronto game. This is another one that Milt Stegall mentioned that no one expected Toronto to win that one. They did. The Elks are underdogs, but they've got some talent, and number 5 leads the list there.
Rankin so far in this game, 6 carries, not a lot, but it's gone for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. This one from 90, and he was gone for about 50 of that. And this was a different type of run. Nice spin move. Mini stiff arm there to get away, and found the end zone again. Just a monster first half for Rankin.
Really was against a defense that doesn't give up many points.
He does not give up many points at all, this Calgary defense. Right above their season average is where Edmonton is almost at right now. Let's send it down to Tom Gazzola, who has Rankin by his side.
Justin's 6-point lead going into that half, a little bit different than what we saw on Monday. What are you liking about the way the team's playing overall so far?
Yeah, we had a couple of rough first drives, you know what I mean? But I think we responded, despite starting off a little slow, we picked it up. And, we're kind of playing fast now. We just want to continue to play fast and physical.
A couple of touchdowns for yourselves, 141 yards. Why is that working on the ground for you right now?
I mean, shoot, if you watch the film, man, we got a body in the body. We got guys blocking down the field, 20 yards down the field. Anytime you got receivers blocking 20, 30 yards down the field, I mean, it's always going to end up in a good play. Even if it's not a touchdown, it'll be a 20-yard run, just because they're 20 yards down the field blocking.
Thanks for the time, Justin.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
All right, Justin Rankin and the Elks up by 6 at the half. Let's send it over to Kate, Enoch, and Milt.
Tom, it's funny because that's what they always said about one Milt Stegall, all the blocks he made downfield.
Wait, which blocks?
Wait a minute.
Which blocks?
Sorry, Milt, I'm sorry. That wasn't you. That was so. I've never seen you block in your life, Milt. That's not even how you do it. I didn't even play football.
On the football
no, that is no. Oh my goodness. All right, back alongside Enoch Mwamba and Milt Stegall, having a fantastic time in Edmonton, and so is Justin Rankin. He's having himself a game, and normally we're talking about all-purpose yards when it comes to him. This is just on the ground so far. 141 as we've seen. The 2 TDs. He has been spectacular. And honestly, Milt, he's been very hard for Calgary defense to stop.
Almost impossible. And when you talk about running backs, they fall in one or two categories. They're either going to be a power back or a speed twitchy back. Well, Justin Rankin is both. We know he's a power back, but he also displayed his speed once again. And we're not just talking about any defense. Calgary may have the quickest, fastest defense in the CFL, and Justin Rankin just made him look bad. But this is not the first time he's done it. He also did it some weeks back where he went for 74 yards, and before that 90-yard run, it was his longest run of the season. This is a good sign for these Edmonton Elks when they can come out and establish the running game, because we know they haven't done much with the passing game. Good for Justin Rankin. Right now, he is on pace for over 900 yards rushing and over 800 yards receiving. I don't think that's ever been done in the CFL. He can pull that one off. Talking about another MOP maybe right
Oh,
there.
my goodness. But, Milt, I can't emphasize enough how difficult it is to prep for a player like Justin Rankin. I mean, as a defensive player, you talked about the abilities of a running back. This is one of the hardest players, or one of the hardest abilities for a running back, for a defensive player to tackle. He can hit you in the hole, and then in open field, he's absolutely dangerous. This guy is special.
And you know what, too? We talked about Calgary's defense so much last game, and understandably so. They were fantastic. Flip the script in the first half of this one. It was all Edmonton's defense. The fact that they're holding VA right now to set, he's honestly not playing that great. He's 113 yards. He's 8 of 17. He just can't get anywhere, and kudos to Edmonton for that, Enoch.
And they haven't had enough of their credit. Even last week, we talked about, hey, Vernon Adams didn't have a great game, but they were still able to win the game. But they're doing the same thing this week. Right now, they're holding their end of the bargain. Obviously, the offense is scoring as well, but they're doing a great job of making Vernon Adams Jr. uncomfortable in the pocket. He's running out of the pocket and trying to find guys downfield, and it's been difficult for VA. Let's be honest. These guys in the back end, you talk about Ross, Logan Jr., and Taylor and Barlow off the edge, they are doing a great job tonight. The challenge is going to be, can you keep it up for the second half?
Well, and I think, too, you're going to have to get something out of Cody Fajardo, too, in the second. I mean, the ground game's been fantastic, but if you don't think the Calgary Stampeders, who are the kings of making adjustments at halftime, aren't going to come out with something a little bit different, then you are sorely mistaken. And for Cody, though, it just hasn't been great so far. He's 9 of 12. He's got 66 yards. He needs to get something going, Mel.
And like I said before the game, you got to take some chances, Cody. I know you like to be efficient, and he's been efficient so far, 9 to 12, but you got 66 yards passing. Take some chances. Allow your receivers to make some plays. Throw it up and see what happens. That's what's going to have to happen as you talk, and Kate, as you talk, they're going to make some adjustments. These Calgary Stampeders aren't just going to allow Justin Rankin to run all over them. They're going to force Cody Fajardo in that passing game to make some plays.
And that's exciting to what you're saying, Milt. But this offense is also going to have to take some time off the clock. And Justin Rankin, he's making some big plays, but they need to take some time off of the clock as well, because this defense can't stay on the field too long. But as Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible. I love it. I'm excited to be here for this game.
You know what? I'm excited too. We talked about this crowd, and I know we've got the west side right in front of us right now. I mean, it's packed in the lower bowl. It's fantastic. The fans have been great, and I'll tell you this: if they witness an Elks victory over arguably one of the best teams in the league in the Calgary Stampeders, this is going to be massive for this fan base as well. 18 to 12. We got highlights coming up right after this.
Perfect way to wrap up Super Saturday on TSN. A Battle of Alberta rematch, locked and loaded at Commonwealth. And look at this, the race is on. See you later. Back to Rankin, a spin move, breaks the tackle. He's done it again. Are you kidding me? Unstoppable Justin Rankin.
All about coverage here as Crum.
As promised, the highlights, Lions taking on the Red Blacks. 30 seconds left in the game. Red Blacks down by 6. Dustin Crum just sends one deep. Khalil Pimpleton makes the great catch. Pimpleton at a team high 95 yards. Red Blacks now in scoring position. 25 seconds remaining, a chance to take the lead. Next play, it is Crum once again, finding Geno Lewis in the end zone. Ottawa pulls off the miraculous win after not leading all game long. Crum over 300 yards passing as the Red Blacks absolutely stun the Lions in this one. First game of our triple header, Tiger Cats Alouettes, fourth quarter. Owls down by 7. James Morgan gets absolutely drilled, pass intercepted by Jamal Peters, who brings it back to the Montreal 28. Morgan struggled in this one, 138 passing, no TDs, a pick and a fumble. He was pulled in this game in favor of Cameron Dukes. Alouettes drop their 5th straight game. Tiger Cats win big time, 26-9 your final. To the middle game of the triple-header, Riders, Bombers, 21st Annual Banjo Bowl. To the fourth quarter we go. Bombers up by 1. Zach Collaros takes a huge hit from Revis. He's slow to get up. The Bombers QB would be ruled out for the rest of the game. Not a great sign. Late in the quarter we go. Riders now in front. Chris Strebler going to be intercepted by Devon Campbell, intended for Dylan Mitchell, but it's overthrown. Riders go into Winnipeg to make it back-to-back wins against the Bombers, taking the Banjo Bowl for the first time since 2018. They take it 21-13 your final. And for Saskatchewan, I mean, we said this before, kudos to them for pushing themselves to 10 wins on the season. They have been absolutely great, and to win the Banjo Bowl, a huge thing. They haven't done it in 7 years. But Enoch, by far the bigger concern is Zach Collaros. We didn't get much of an update on him after this game. We know he does have the history of concussions. It obviously was a bit of a head-to-head hit, if you want to call it that. And I got to tell you, it's just thinking about Zach and long-term right now is priority number 1.
Yes, absolutely. You know, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers need him, yes, but at the end of the day, he has to look at the fact that he has a life to live off of the football field. He has a family, a beautiful family that is growing, him and his wife as well. These are the things that he has to think about, especially given the fact that He's had an amazing career.
Yep.
He's played great over the course of the years.
Yep.
And now for him to find himself in this case, in this scenario, and then again, we're speculating at this point. But if it is a hand injury, I would err on the side of caution and really think about the fact that, do I still want to play football at this point, Milt?
And it's not hard for me. I said it earlier, and I'll stand behind it again. And as you say, we're speculating. If it is another concussion, he shouldn't step on the field again. We were talking off air. He has a wonderful wife, 2 young kids. You want to have a great lifestyle when your football career is over with. You don't want to have any medical concerns, especially with the brain. I can see you having a knee or a shoulder, but we're talking about the brain. We're not just talking about any type of injury. We're talking about the brain. So Zach Collaros, in my opinion, should never step on the football field again.
You know, as we said, too, I mean, we've worked with Zach. We know Zach. We just want the best for him, and it's been really tough. I don't want to see this anymore. Meanwhile, for the Elks, they're up by 6. We got second half action right after this.
Welcome back to Edmonton. The Elks leading the Stampeders 18-12. 113 receiving yards so far in this game for Calgary. 84% of those to Eric Brooks, who's standing by with Tom Gazzola.
Eric, I know you guys were able to jump out to that early lead there, and then in your mind, what was it? The Elks defense holding you guys up, or was it stuff that you guys were doing to yourselves offensively that was holding you guys up?
It's just us and our execution. You know, we're shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit, so we're looking to get back on track in the second half.
All right, how about keys to the second half overall for you guys? What do you think will be important?
Really, defense just got to stop the run. Offense got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and beat their zone coverage. That's about it.
Thanks for the time, Eric.
Thank you.
Those 95 yards, by the way, a season high for Brooks, who had 69 in his best game of the year. So he's been heavily involved, but nobody else really has so far. That guy for Edmonton has kind of been the star of the night so far.
Late in that first half, I mean, the 2 big runs for touchdowns came in the second half of the first half, and getting Rankin involved. And a very important drive, though, to end the half for Vernon Adams, finished with a field goal. A couple of completed passes in that, got Dietrich Mills engaged a little bit.
VA sub 50% passing in the first half. He'll look to get on track in the third quarter. Edmonton will have the ball to begin the half. And we are underway in the Battle of Alberta rematch. Edmonton is 3-1 when leading at halftime so far this year. Return from Leak, just shy of about the 35.
You heard the panel talk about Cody Fajardo and that they like to see a little bit more from him in the passing game. He had a couple of completions in that first half, but the big plays were for Justin Rankin. And maybe to start the game, as I mentioned, Mark Killam knew something. He had some sort of real good feeling about a first half that his team would take the lead. They won the toss and deferred to get the ball in the second half, so they'll start with it here.
Calgary is 2-3 this season when trailing at halftime. They'll start it on the ground. Why wouldn't you? Back to Rankin. Tackle made from Jacob Roberts.
Well, you know the discussion for Bob Slowick, the coaching staff, and a little bit of tempers flaring here, but the discussion at halftime for them on defense was Rankin. You know, they probably broke down on the video all the big runs, all the runs that he had in that first half. Again, a brilliant game plan defensively against them on Labor Day. And now the chess game begins for this second half. What are the adjustments to get Cody Fajardo in second and long and try to contain Justin Rankin in both downs?
Calgary has allowed just 7 points in the second half combined of their last 3 games. Really locked it down after halftime. Fajardo escapes a bunch of space, trying to stay up, but he's taken down. Devine Scott with the tackle that stops him from finding a first down.
Bailey Devine Scott is going to switch in and out with Derek Moncrief, part of the American-Canadian ratio rule, and he gets his chance to play just in a drop in a zone defense there, and then reacting to Cody Fajardo getting up there before he gets to the sticks. I don't know about you, Dustin, but I've noticed that Jalen Hutchings isn't playing. Noticeable difference.
The pressure from this defensive line is not what it was on Monday, and the only difference is that Jalen Hutchings is not here, and he's been a monster in the middle of that defense. Let's take a look on the offensive side of things for Calgary and Vernon Adams Jr. in the first half.
Speaking of guys that'll take a chance down the field, coming into this game here tonight, Vernon Adams had 20 explosives. That's the 30-plus throwing catches. He's a couple of big plays. He had a corner route in the first quarter to Eric Brooks. Don't be surprised at all to see him try to take some chunk plays down the field.
And we'll see what they do with Mills. 25 yards on just 6 carries. They'll give it to him here. He's upended. Mogeson making his first start. Made the tackle. Lost his helmet. Gain of a couple.
Probably got 4 out of that, and that's a successful first down. I mean, you get to 5.5 ideal, because now if you play zone defense and you're Edmonton, you're basically lining up at about the 5 to 7 yard mark.
2nd and 8 for Adams. Has the time. And that ball not even remotely close to Alford.
Played last week sparingly, but Damian Alford's coming off a muscle injury and is slowly working his way back into that form that we saw back against Saskatchewan and that big play potential. But on that one there, it looked like Vernon Adams was waiting for a comeback route, and Alford forgot about that part.
The most important part of the comeback route is the coming back
part. Anybody could just run a route.
Bassett boots it away. Leak takes it cleanly inside the 40. There's a flag that flies as he returns it back beyond the 50. This one probably going to be brought back with that flag. We'll step away at Commonwealth. This drive for Edmonton will start on their own 28. Let's take a look at this penalty.
Godfrey Onyeka on the cover. And, you know, I'm a big proponent of less flags is better. And I think there's too many, and too many soft ones in the kicking game. And then there's bad decisions. I mean, that was square in the back, right at the point of attack. And, you know, Kenneth Logan made a bad decision and forced the official to throw the flag.
Fajardo fakes the handoff, runs to his right, and he's gone in that area of the field quite a bit so far tonight. This time it's Benjamin Victor.
6'4". He's getting a good run at the line of scrimmage. Again, these are rookies in the lineup. And get that run at the line and then just come back to the football. Cody Fajardo took a bit of a hit as he delivered this one. Wiley, a little bit of a push.
Wiley maybe getting a little bit more time with the injury to Hutchings. This time out to the 50, it's Julian Grant. That's his team-leading 4th catch of the ball game. And they'll give him 7 yards.
Well, it's, you know, interesting looking at the stats coming in. Justin Rankin, I mentioned, leads the team in receptions or in yards, receiving yards, leading receiver. And number 2 on the list is Stephen Dunbar, who's not in the lineup tonight.
Dunbar watching this one from the 6 game. 2nd and 3. Rankin's got it, and he's got room again. Takes it down inside the 40 before he's tracked down by Tights. And Justin Rankin will not be stopped.
How difficult is this one for Clarence Hicks? He's got it after a couple of plays where Cody Fajardo got the edge. There's Fajardo with a great decision. Hicks comes up towards the quarterback and tries to cut him off from rolling out as if he's going to pull the ball. And that's when he gives it to Rankin. Rankin has that seam for a big gainer.
24 more on the day for Rankin on the ground. 166 so far. Back to him again. Can he escape a pile? Not this time. He'll get a yard before he's gang tackled by the Stampeders. Coatney, among others, in on that tackle. Jacob Roberts comes up out of it as well.
You talked about this. Tom reported on this from the sideline in our discussion with Coach Dickinson and Mark Killam. They both don't want to see any of this stuff after the whistle. And I think both of them, if I remember correctly, use the word selfish. Those are selfish decisions if you're doing stuff like that after the whistle.
2nd and 9 for Cody. He's in trouble this time. Will not get away. Wrapped up and taken down by Sean Peterson, his first CFL sack.
Miles Brown is going to cause the issues for Fajardo initially, and they work in tandem. He's going to get the push up the field. He's hidden in between these guys, but he gets the push up. Look at number 90. Gets a push up the field a little bit, and that's where Cody steps up into the pocket, climbs in there, and he climbs right into the hands of Peterson.
47-yard attempt for Blanchard. Right down the middle. Julian to hold. That kick is up, and it is good. He struggled from beyond 40 so far this season. No mistake there for Blanchard and Edmonton as they increase their lead to 9 here in the Labor Day rematch. Brendan Adams Jr. has 113 yards passing in this ball game, 95 of them on 4 completions to Brooks.
Yeah, the number 1 target coming into this game for Vernon Adams has been Dominic Rhymes. He doesn't have a catch in this one. That was in the first quarter, that corner route to Brooks. Tevin Jones, very little, few targets. Jalen Philpott, just the 1 catch.
Rhymes, of course, has a catch in 64 straight, but nothing so far this evening. Calgary will start on their 40 after the field goal from Blanchard. Mills, a little bit of space, and he pushes it ahead. Should be a first down for the Stampeders. Ties his longest attempt of the game.
Yeah, this is how they get settled in, the Calgary offense, with that balance we talked about in the first half. Good blocking up front. Looked like a couple of players overran that for the Edmonton Elks. DeBlanco just chases him down with Metier's help from the safety spot.
And flags will fly here pre-snap.
Offside. Edmonton number 42. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Noah Taylor jumping the gun a bit. Leads this team with 3 sacks on the season out of UNC.
He did a little spy work in the Labor Day game against Vernon Adams.
That type of body, 6'5", 225. Now he's going to bring some heat in front of Adams. Adams too high for Philpott. And it'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, that was a fastball, too. Vernon Adams stepped into that one. Philpott was gonna it was like almost a self-defense catch. He just slings this over there a little bit high into the outside.
6 consecutive incompletions for VA.
Noah Taylor caused some problems up front too. VA kind of threw it around him.
They'll have 3 options out to his wide side right on this one. Edmonton shows pressure, backs it off. Adams still under heat, and he's going to be taken down. Barlow gets there. 2nd sack of the year for 4 in green and gold.
sprinter stance down there at the bottom, gets rid of the hands of Preston Nichols. And as a defensive lineman, get rid of those hands. They can't grab the chest plates and engage and lock in there in their pass pro. He gets by that and gets to Vernon Adams.
An injury-riddled Edmonton defensive unit has come to play so far in this one. Big kick. That'll bounce out of bounds.
Outstanding.
Excellent kick. 59 yards. Dropped it outside the 6. Beautiful Saturday in Edmonton.
Do I look like a natural? It's like when they put me on the horse and just on.
That one take.
One take? I can't believe he was let us drive the fire truck.
Are you driving that fast?
I can't drive any slower. I can't stop laughing. Oh my God. Ethan, look how funny
Some
this
outtakes from earlier on today here as the panel's been set up for a long one. Super Saturday.
Wow, it's a smart decision to give Kate the keys to the panel and the keys to the fire truck.
She seems to find a new toy at every on location. This drive starts on the 6 after a nice kick. He'll give it to Leak. Tripped up. Roberts made the tackle. Leak was thinking he had one, didn't he?
Oh, it looked like he did. I think Big Hill got in there too, but you're right. They just trip up Javon Leak, who's getting a couple of turns now at tailback on the offense, because if they can get both of them in there, who do you favor if you're the linebackers for Calgary? Look at that hole, and there is nothing up there. Big Hill slides over. Brooks gets a piece and just trips him up.
Still got 8 yards out of it. Second and very manageable here for Edmonton. The ground again. Spinning ahead. Leak first down for the home side. They'll give him 6 more.
He's got that breakaway speed now. I would even say as fast and quick as Rankin is. Maybe Rankin has the edge in the quick twitch, but Javon Leak has that top end. I mean, if he gets a gap, you're not catching him. I've seen him many times in the return game, many times on offense.
Almost 200 yards rushing as a team today for Edmonton. This one stuffed. Sambu among others in there. And then Roberts gets hammered down. Gregor McKellar, I'm not sure what he was thinking. And there are flags all over the place. See how Andre Proulx sorts this one out. There's O'Donnell, signed earlier this week. .65", 316, 26 years old, was drafted by Montreal back in 2020, acquired via trade, went to the U of A and spent 5 years south of the border.
There are 2 fouls on the play. The first one, objectionable conduct. Calgary number 48. Major foul, 15-yard penalty against Edmonton number 67. We're going to go back 5 yards. It will be second down.
All right, so after that, they'll just back it up 5, and it'll be second and 15.
There's Roberts.
Thank you.
A little bit of just a little shove in the back, and then a retaliation, and give one to each, and a very stern warning.
Fajardo down the field, drops it in there, and Victor's got it. And these receivers, Victor and Hilaire, have taken advantage of this opportunity when Fajardo has looked their way today. Victor goes for 16.
Started out at Alabama A&M. O.J. Hilaire, and ended up at Bowling Green, or excuse me, That was Victor on that catch from Ohio State. But you mentioned both these guys, and at the top of the show we were talking about one of these two new players for the Elks in the receiving corps going to have to step up with Dunbar out.
Hand it off, push ahead for about a yard as Leak remains in on this offensive possession. And it'll be 2nd and 9 for Edmonton on their own 35.
Now Benjamin Victor has to turn that potential that Mark Killam sees in him and turn that into production. And that's what they're trying to get accomplished here tonight. 6'4", 200-pound receiver. Win that jump ball for you. Went to the Giants in free agency after the 2020 draft with Austin Mack.
Fajardo looks to his left, throws in that direction. Hilaire is there, and he's got a first down for the Elks.
It's all about that comfort level. And you look at O.J. Hilaire and his time at Bowling Green. He's capable of the big game. Played against Toledo in a game in college and had 8 catches for almost 250 yards, 246 yards. So he's used to being the guy in an offense. Both of them showed well tonight.
These two rookies have combined to catch 7 of the 8 balls thrown in their direction by their veteran quarterback. Fajardo trying to roll him to his right. A little bit high and incomplete. Looking for Gittens Jr. Has just 1 catch today, and he could not pull that one down from the top of the ladder.
Yeah, so here's the key play in 2nd and 10. What does Bob Slowik go with defensively? Is he going to run that spy technique with Clarence Hicks? And if Cody Fajardo tries to scramble to buy himself time or to get out and run, is he going to have Hicks spy him, or does he send pressure and see if Fajardo can hit a hot route?
Fajardo has already connected on a couple of 2nd and longs on this possession. Drive that started under 6. Can they keep it alive? Fajardo looking on the outs to Gittens, and they'll wave it down as incomplete. Covered well by the veteran Moncrief.
So Bob Slowik on the play goes with that same spy technique. There's Clarence Hicks, and he's in that stand-up position, but he's not really rushing. He's going to step up, and then he's just going to sit there and spy. If Cody Fajardo tries to escape, he's there to chase him down either side. And what they're trying to do is stay up top, take away the deep throws, make him throw underneath with the spy there in Hicks.
Brooks awaits this kick just inside his own 20 for the Stampeders. 90 to play, 3rd quarter. And that
ran out of time.
Clock ticked down, ran out of time. Back him up a bit and do it again.
Yeah, that former special teams coordinator Mark Killam, that side of him, he can't be happy with that, and he also can't be happy with that big return last week. Certainly wasn't on the sideline.
End over end, it's going to bounce in. Came in hot. There's a flag on the play as Brooks takes it up the near sideline and steps out of bounds at the Calgary 38. Vernon Adams Jr., 8 of 19 so far. His team trails on the road. The U.S. Open continues tomorrow with the men's final at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Catch all the action on TSN. Alcaraz and Sinner. A couple of heavyweights meeting in that U.S. Open final. Calgary, after a 15-yard no yards, will actually have this ball on their own 46.
That was a nice job by Eric Brooks on that punt return, hustling under that and creating the no yards call. And he's having a couple of good back-to-back games.
It's everybody else, so they have to get going here offensively. Just an 18-yard swing on this punt and the penalty. Brooks watches on. Gets that waggle going. VA backpedals a bit. And he just misses Tevin Jones. There's no other way to say it. That was one that Vernon Adams Jr. 100% would want another crack at. Jones was wide open.
Yeah, you know, and it really is just down to that. I mean, there wasn't a lot of pressure in his face there. I mean, Jones is wide open at the top of your screen here, and that's just a missed throw.
7 straight incompletions for the veteran Calgary quarterback. Now he's got to find 10. Edmonton sends 4. Has time down the field, and look who it is, of course. It's Brooks. And late in the third quarter, the first completion of the half for Vernon Adams.
Yeah, and it was a tough catch. I mean, Brooks makes it look fairly routine here. He's three receiver side, so trips to the field, and he's going to run the deep comeback, and it's over his right shoulder, but he snags that and pulls it down.
Adams, far side, open Barnes, and he's taken out of bounds by Cordell Jackson. But Calgary starting to cook a little bit offensively.
Yeah, nice soft spot in the zone between the short player and the flat underneath. The flat being outside in that zone right near the sideline, and then the deep outside player, and that was a 23-yard gain right in between the two.
Clock ticks down. Third quarter. No work from the Edmonton 27. Adams stringing together a couple of back-to-back completions here. Does he have another one in him? This time they'll hand it off to Philpott. Broke one tackle, turns it back. But it'll still be a loss on the play. Read well and defended well by Edmonton.
Be a loss of about 2 or 3, and this is a second and long. And we'll take the quarter break.
Fourth quarter action coming up here in the rematch between Edmonton and Calgary. It is the Elks on top, 21-12, looking for a victory at home. Calgary Stampeders won 3 in a row. They find themselves trailing, but maybe something's starting to work here with Vernon Adams.
A couple of completions in a row, and maybe Vernon Adams kind of reboots the targeting system because he's missed some throws. Again, you know, he said in an interview right after the Labor Day game last week that it was his best game or worst game as a Calgary Stampeder. He just was missing some targets. He said we got to reboot. He was very positive about it because they won the game and their defense stepped up, so did the special teams. But, you know, this is another game now you're stacking on top where he's missed some open receivers, and maybe those 3 catches in a row, 3 throw and catches in a row, get him back on track.
After a 2-yard loss on the handoff to Philpott, it's a 2nd and 12 for Adams here. Trying to find a way into the red zone, maybe even the end zone from the Edmonton 29. Some pressure coming up the middle. He gets it away, drops it in there to Philpott, and he's got a first down, but a flag at the end of the play. And Edmonton is saying that this is going back.
That was real late,
and
too.
VA is furious. So it might be coming back.
Pass interference. Calgary number 85. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Oh, Vernon Adams is hot.
Saying Jalen Philpott, who's trips again to the field, and he's at number 2 spot. Coming out of the slot. Does he push off here? Looking like the curl, or the corner back to the curl. Push off, but Coach Dickinson doesn't like it.
Stare down. Wow. Of the official. Wow. 2nd and 22. Vernon Adams has something up his sleeve here. He'll try to set up a screen to Mills. Mills has a little bit of space. He's got something inside the 20, down inside the 15. What a play call, and what execution from Mills.
Lots of depth from the DBs, and there's Dedrick Mills in the backfield. Timing is excellent on this screen as they get two big boys out front. Big offensive line setting it up for Dedrick Mills. The timing was excellent, and Edmonton forced to rally, but not after not until a 28-yard gain from Mills.
Just a massive play early here in the fourth quarter. 1 for 2 tonight inside the red zone. That's where they find themselves now. Adams lays it out. Barnes has it. He'll be wrapped up. Cordell Jackson is there to help J.J. Ross. And a flag at the tail end of this.
It's like that's right in the line of scrimmage, but quick release there by Vernon Adams allowed that play to happen. Cordell Jackson was coming downhill on that. There's the target, Barnes. He was cutting underneath that.
After the play, misconduct penalty, 10 yards on Calgary number 64. That penalty will be enforced from where the ball became dead. It will be second down.
Preston Nichols. Calgary pretty disciplined in the first half of this ball game. And that one will back them up. 2nd and 12. They got up. It was going to be 2nd and 2. Tack this on. And now it's 2nd and 12. Dickinson's hands in the air.
I'm not sure they got the right number. And Dickinson's not sure why the penalty was called at all.
Can Adams overcome this again? Edmonton shows heat, sends 5, flags fly, VA on the run, taken down by DeBlanco. Did Edmonton move early on this though?
Defensive offside. Edmonton number 25. 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay second down.
They did jump the gun. Shaylin Garnes, number 25 in the green and gold.
Down at the bottom of your screen was the offside. There was 3 blitzers showing blitz. The Blanco and Garnes went. Garnes was inside the neutral zone.
A little back and forth here with the penalties. We'll meet in the middle, 2nd and 7. Mills stands to the right of his quarterback. Out into the flat to Brooks. Can he find a path? Nice move. And he's down inside the 5. And he'll be stopped short of the first down by a yard and a little bit more.
As we get a little play calling, some of the short screen stuff for Vernon Adams. Couple nice throws in that intermediate range for Vernon Adams in this drive, and it looks like he's dialed back in.
Quincy Vaughn into the game. 3rd and a yard. Crowd at Commonwealth trying to get behind this defense. 10th play of the drive will be a short yard push ahead from Vaughn. Looking for a yard. He's got a yard. Looking for the end zone. He's got that too. Touchdown Calgary. Quincy Vaughn does it again.
Right behind Zach Williams, the left guard. And Quincy Vaughn took one hard push thinking he could get the first down and not score. It was 3 yards to go, but keeps driving the legs. Gets across that goal line.
A 3-point game with Paredes and one more looming. And he puts it through. A 10-play, 64-yard drive. Took just over 4 minutes. into the trustworthy hands of Vaughn and into the end zone.
Crucial drive for the Calgary Stampeders to go 10 plays and 64 yards. And considering that prior to this drive, Vernon Adams had gone 0 for his last 7, could not find a completion. And then on this drive, with a little help from Dedrick Mills, he completed 5 in a row. Quincy Vaughn finishes it off.
That screen to Mills on the 2nd and long. Huge. What a play.
That's not PI. If he's sitting at your deck.
I know. I just can't do this. That's what they're doing.
Oh, bro, he can't sit at your
Critical drive. They had to have it, and they did. We've got a 2-point game. Ton of time on the clock, though. Once again, Leak contained.
I just heard Vernon Adams discussing the PI, and I have to agree. and I think Dave Dickinson agrees as well. The DB that plants his feet and the receiver trying to run a curl, there's going to be a little contact. Coach Dickinson not happy with that call, even though his offense overcame the penalty with the screenplay to Dedrick Mills.
Rankin back in the game at running back after Leak got involved last possession. Rankin, nice jump cut, opens up some room for himself, still going. And he's got 7 or 8 on that one.
You know, the key to this jump cut for Rankin, it's different for every guy, but the key for him is his quickness on how fast he can get back to top speed and that quickness. Here's the jump cut. He hits the line, it bounces. But just in 1.5 steps, he is back and quickly to the outside again. You see how he's forcing defenders to flash outside to get him back into the traffic.
10 carries for 174 yards for Rankin. Well, they go back to him for 2 more. They give it to him. Can he find it? Got it. Some initial contact, but he finds a way through it, and it's a first down, Edmonton.
And Jordan Maksimic is still not going to take my advice and play both of them at the same time with Justin Rankin and Javon Leak.
Maybe he's saving it. Maybe he's saving it.
Yeah, I'm kidding, of course. I don't think any of the OCs are taking my advice on what they should do. I just think you got 2 very talented, skilled players. If you can get them on the field at the same time, boy, tough to defend.
Rankin now with the biggest rushing total in a game this year in the Canadian Football League, and he's going to add to it here. Got a block, takes it down to the 40. Rumble, young man, rumble. He just keeps going.
Great example here of how quickly he restarts and gets back up to top speed. He basically puts the brakes on in the hole. I mean, he's going to stop right here. Now he's surrounded by defenders and then has that quickness and speed that he can get in 1.5 steps, bounces outside again and gets the angle. I mean, he was caught in the backfield.
203 yards on 12 carries for Rankin. Running all over the Stampeders defense. Fajardo, quick hitter, near sideline, drops it in to Gittins, working against Anthony Johnson.
So how do you try to put a dent in the armor that has been the Calgary Stampeder defense? How do you find a way to do that? And I guarantee you every team that's going to play Calgary in the future is going to look at this video and say, maybe we can run the ball a little bit.
Jalen Hutchings?
Yeah, that's
it's Jalen Hutchings that important to this defense?
They are.
He might be.
They are, yep. That interior defensive lineman.
Fajardo looks towards Rankin. Now he's going to run to his right. Has some room. He'll get a first down, a little bit more inside the 20 before he gives himself up. They're in the red zone. Big answer from Edmonton so far on this drive.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And back to that second quarter Rankin success. Boy, great protection up front. We haven't said or talked much about Folarin Rimolade.
He's down on the field right now. I just saw it at the beginning of that play. You see he jumped up.
Yeah, he got
his left leg.
He got double teamed. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
They are taking a look. Flo Rimolade will step away.
Little dent in the armor of this great Stamps defense that coming into this game tonight, we're on a record pace as far as allowing touchdowns in an 18-game season. The BC Lions in 14 allowed 24. They were on Calgary on pace for 24.5 points. TDs allowed. Jalen Hutchings on the sideline doesn't look great for Rimolade as he needs help getting off.
And now Hicks had to hustle off the field as well. Back to Rankin, trying to run away from some trouble. Webb and Peterson are there to contain him this time.
And Adam Bighill. And I'm going to add that because I think it was Bighill that just played the play. He just decided whatever his assignment was, he was just going to go after number 5.
A loss of 2 yards.
So many great years for Adam Bighill. Back in BC with the Lions. Him and Solomon Elamimian. And then all those years with the Bombers.
Fajardo with pressure coming. Gets it away. End zone shot. Looking to the corner. Julian Grant's got it. Touchdown Edmonton. And they answer right back. Fajardo to Julian Grant.
Now you got to believe that drive for Cody Fajardo is a kick to the solar plexus against the Calgary Stampeders. After crawling back into this game, making it a 2-pointer. Adam Bighill's coming on the blitz. So is Jacob Roberts. And Cody Fajardo hangs in there, is going to take the hit to make the play. And he's okay to do that. Done it many times before. Sacked 4 times last week, hit a bunch more. He got hit there, but delivered a perfect throw.
Another one right down the middle from Blanchard. A 7-play, 76-yard drive from Edmonton ends in the hands of Julian Grant, his team leading 6th receiving touchdown of the year.
Outstanding throw here from Cody Fajardo on this corner route, but he's also making a great decision. That's Moncrief on a blitz, so he knows the safety's going to have to take this deep corner route, and that's, in this case, Jackson Sombach. So Sombach, stop it here, as now in a man-to-man on the receiver. Cody Fajardo wants to hit in Julian Grant, and boy, does he throw a nice ball over that shoulder. He doesn't break stride to the corner of the end zone. Once he saw the blitzer from Moncrief, he knew the safety was the only guy left.
Brooks takes it at the 5. Back out to about the 30 before he's taken down by Clance. Just 1 catch on Labor Day for Julian Grant. He's got 5 today and a touchdown.
Outstanding response just to take the wind out of the sails of the Calgary Stampeders after their long drive. And how about the accuracy on that throw? Puts air underneath it, so there's no way that Sombach can catch up. He sees the blitzer. He's got that picked up from Justin Rankin. He's going to take the hit from the inside, but he'll tell you he'll take that every day for a touchdown throw.
That was Jacob Roberts with the hit on Fajardo. It's an injured Stampeder down on the field at the 30.
It's a 6th touchdown for Keon Julian Grant. Leads his team. Also leads with those explosives over 30 yards. And it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but good to see him bounce back from the drop against Hamilton to a big game against Montreal. And that's the kind as a receiver. Milt will tell you that's the kind as a receiver you love. You run your corner route. You've got the DB on the inside shoulder. You're going to the corner, and the quarterback drops a dime right over your shoulder. You don't break stride. You just kind of catch that nicely and continue on.
As soon as you cut to the corner, you're thinking, give it to me. Yeah. Here we go. Let's get after it. Here's Adams, and they'll get after him. Brinkman back. Healthy. Takes him down after a short gain.
Yeah, injured in the first quarter early on in this game. And looks like he may be sort of limping and probably playing on one game. But look at him. I mean, he's one of those guys that he's probably strapped an aspirin to the leg and he's just saying, I'm good.
Edmonton will bring a little bit of heat on Vernon Adams. Gets it away, and he finds a man out at the 45. Gives it to Barnes right in front of Kobe Williams. What a huge throw from Vernon Adams.
Yeah, he's been locked in since the last drive. He went 5 for 5 on that drive, and now he's bringing that ball down a little bit. Bending his knees. He had a little pressure, too, there. Barnes, nice strong catch.
16 and a first down for Adams. Has time here. Lays one out, looking for Jones, and the former Elk pulls it in. And Calgary looking to respond with a drive of their own.
And there's the best of the throws. The best of the throws from Vernon Adams is in a tight window here. He's got Tevin Jones, but not by much. There's a couple defenders right there with a chance to go after it. He threads the needle.
Stamps moving quickly now. Down the field again in no man's land. Rhymes was in the area. He still does not have a catch in this game. I'm not sure he saw that one coming. Snaps 8 completions in a row for Adams. Sets up a second and long.
Vernon Adams needs the field goal and the major. Keep that in mind in this decision.
It'll be a long field goal from here, but within Paredes' range. Adams lays it out. Reaching over is Williams. Brooks wanting a flag, but none to be seen.
So Paredes will come on in the field. This was just a nice play. As I mentioned in the first half, I think this is the most aggressive I've seen the Elks secondary all year. Come back on a lot of these throws, playing hard, not worried about getting beat, just coming out of their break and making a play.
Paredes from 49, just inside the right hash. And that one not even close. Brought out by Leak, and he's looking for a little bit of room. Javon Leak breaks the tackle, and now they'll try to track him down. Midfield to the 40. And finally they'll push him out of bounds as the crowd erupts at Commonwealth. A costly miss from one of the best to ever do it in Paredes.
Mentioned the top end speed for Javon Leak. He hit the top end speed when he took this and he caught it after Paredes missed. He was flying up the middle. Leak, he was bringing this back no matter what, and he took off with this.
Bassett made the play that sort of slowed him down, or he might have been gone. 86 yards on the missed field goal return. Edmonton in business again, and they lead by 9. Back to Rankin. Not this time. Johnson is all over him.
It's a little fire, a little extra step for Javon Leak in this game. And there was no hesitation here. He was coming out of the end zone. And he's at top speed right there. Usually top speed comes at the end of the run.
Devine Scott with the hustle. A touchdown saver for Calgary, forcing Leak out.
Come on.
2nd and 12 for Fajardo. Drops it over there. McKinnon trying to reach ahead. That'll be close. Right at the marker.
Cody Fajardo recognizes the coverage here. He recognizes he's got Jacob Roberts inside position, and he's got an out route from the slot back.
Calgary.
Stampeders call a timeout with 3:32 remaining.
That's the combination you want on 2nd and 10 or 11. You've got an 8-yard out, and the only possible coverage is an inside linebacker.
He's going to be spotted about a yard short. And Edmonton will attempt the field goal with 3rd and about a yard and a half. This will put them up by a dozen. If Blanchard, the young kicker, is able to capitalize.
You like the call, Coach? I know the play-by-play guy in you wants a bomb here to the end zone.
Well, what I want is like a fake field goal in the most stunning fashion ever. That's what I want. But you go up by 12.
Yeah, no, but it's two majors.
Yeah, you go up by 12 here. If you hit it. We just saw Paredes miss at the other end. This one from 32 for Blanchard for a little bit of breathing room. And he makes no mistake. Elks on top by a dozen.
No fake on this one. Conventional wisdom, good decision. Make it a 12-point game. And in chip shot area. Hold is there, kick is up. Kate mentioned it at halftime. If the Elks can finish this game, and we've seen a lot of wild stuff inside of 3 minutes. So I'm not giving them the win yet.
It is not over.
If they can, that's not a good sign either.
Got that ice on the ankle area.
Yeah. But if they can hang on, boy, this is a big win. Gets them right back in the fight.
Well, what a swing. A missed field goal from Paredes. Returned into field goal range at the other end. And now a sack for Edmonton. Taylor's got his 4th of the year as he gets to Vernon Adams.
He's up at the top of your screen, and just a great inside spin move.
We have hit 3 minutes in the Battle of Alberta. Elks looking for a split of the Labor Day rivalry. I can't believe we're already wrapping up week 14 and a Super Saturday here, but week 15, a juicy one as well. Winnipeg will go to Hamilton on Friday night. Ottawa, BC, a rematch of a thriller. Second half of that doubleheader, and then on Saturday, Edmonton goes to Toronto. Riders at home against Montreal. Calgary has not lost against the West this year. Edmonton has him on the ropes. Adams on the run, and he's in trouble again. Can you believe this? Combo's got his 2nd of the night.
A little bit of a stunt for Kongbo. Working on the inside. He starts here, and then he's going to stunt outside on the twist. His 2nd on the night.
3rd down and 31. Monster kick here. Bounces inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 25. So much talk about Calgary's defense. Edmonton comes into this game, no Robbie Smith, no Jake Ceresna, no Nick Anderson, no Niles Morgan. Actually, I think you make a case those are the 4 most important defensive players to start the season.
Yeah,
and here they are.
And here they are against a team that has not lost a game to the West Division. To have the season series, the Stamps do have the season series against Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. And now we're going to split Edmonton and play one more time. Last game of the regular season is against the Elks. And the Elks, if they hold on, are right in it.
We'll go back to Rankin, trying to escape up the middle. Calgary hangs on for dear life. Onyeka, Coatney in on the tackle.
I mean, the Lions at 5 wins looked like they were going to get their 6th, but didn't in Ottawa on Friday night. Take a look at the standings, and this would be win number 5 for Edmonton in the West. So we're not giving them the win just yet. We know what the final 3 minutes look like in Canadian football, so we will hold off. But 5 wins ties them with the Lions, and then just one behind the Bombers, who have Hamilton next week.
2nd and 8. Back into the belly of Rankin, and a nice tackle by Johnson as Rankin tried to jump around him. And that'll bring up 3rd down, a quick 2 and out, and they'll kick it away with just over 2 minutes remaining.
Timeout.
Yep, grind the
Calgary.
clock. Calgary will take the timeout. Grind the clock here. 2 running plays. Well, the clock starts again right when the official sets the ball and whistles it in. But Calgary's now looking at, they need a return, they need the drive, they need the onside, and they need another drive.
Easy enough.
It's happened inside of 2 minutes. That Ottawa drive was, what, 30 seconds left in the game?
Wasted no time last night.
2 plays, and they were in the end zone.
So 3rd and 6 from the Edmonton 29. Julian called into duty. Hangs it up there. Brooks takes it just outside the 20. Forced back. Going to try to reverse it on the other side. Spins away and is wrapped up by Kenneth Logan Jr.
Backup defensive back Leonard Johnson made the play. It looked like Eric Brooks had the corner there, and Leonard Johnson cut him off and made him turn back inside.
It did look like there was quite a bit of field over here for Brooks, didn't it?
Tons of field, and only one guy on contain. But he got his job done and turned him inside. So, bunch of real estate in front of P.J. Walker.
P.J. Walker into the ball game. Interesting. They'll hand it off and push it ahead right up the middle with Antwi.
What happened with Vernon Adams
well, but also Mills isn't in the game.
If he got nicked or
Antwi and P.J. Walker into the game, down by 12. And a quick one will be a 1st down, and that is Rhymes, who needed that to extend his streak to 65 games in a row. Is this just a message?
I guess.
Must be.
I guess.
For both Mills and Adams to be out of the game right now, clearly Dickinson is
saying this one's over.
Walker, Barnes, grabbed by Ford, and they'll blow it down with 90 seconds on the clock.
P.J. Walker got 1 start versus Ottawa when Vernon Adams was a little banged up. 20 for 37.
Are you surprised by this?
I am.
Yeah.
I absolutely am, because no one knows that final 3 minutes more than Dave Dickinson. When it comes to what is possible in the final 3 minutes, unless there's some sort of It doesn't look like he's hurt, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I might agree to that if Mills wasn't also out of the game right now. We haven't seen Walker, obviously, all night. We haven't seen Antwi all night. VA 15 of 29 for 229 yards. He watches on for the rest of this one. No touchdowns, no interceptions. What's he thinking about right now?
Yeah, the last couple of drives, though, VA got sacked pretty hard. I wonder if Dave Dickinson said, okay, like, just keep him healthy, keep him healthy. This one's in the books. Let's keep him healthy.
Walker, third straight completion for him, goes back to Rhymes. And they move the ball onto Edmonton's side of the field. Injured Elk back by the original line of scrimmage. And they're going to call for the training staff to come out and take a look. And that is Noah Taylor, who's been getting more opportunity with Robbie Smith out of the lineup.
And looks like a keeper, big time.
He's been a great pickup this year. Yeah,
absolutely.
That is team leading 4th sack of the season tonight.
Nice to see Jonathan Kongbo getting involved in that D-line in the rotation too. It looks like they're trying to stretch out maybe a cramp there for Noah Taylor, but you know, he playing for Robbie Smith, and they've had a couple of different guys play that spot, and Noah Taylor was in the rotation.
He's okay. Stretched him out, walking off. A worse for wear. And they've just been told there is no injury to Vernon Adams. So
okay,
took him out. He'll watch the rest of this one. PJ Walker's 3 of 3 for 29 yards. Works towards Edmonton 40. He's going to look for a big chunk here down the field. No man's land. And it falls incomplete. Too much juice. Looking for the Moose.
So just for fun, hypothetical.
Don't even say it. I think I know what you're going to say.
PJ Walker throws a touchdown pass, and then they get the onside kick. Does Vernon come back in then?
No.
Or do you leave PJ Walker?
I think you leave PJ Walker in.
Well, you know, it's an interesting call here. Based on how the clock works in the final 2 minutes of the games here. Well, 3 minutes really, but it was 2 minutes when he came out.
Edmonton just sends 3. Walker gets it away, finds Alford this time. And he is taken down. J.J. Ross, Cordell Jackson in there. First catch of the game for Alford as the clock ticks inside 60.
And I will say this about those shots of Vernon Adams on the sideline. I think I'm going to read between the lines here a little bit, but Vernon Adams looks like he's not happy with this decision. He's over there.
Well, he wasn't smiling.
Doing his best to not show that.
Walker stays in the game, pushes it ahead on the 3rd and short. It'll be a first down, Calgary. Calgary heads into a bye after this. Then they'll be at home against the BC Lions on the 19th. And then they finish with 4 of their final 5 games on the road.
What's on display in this drive is the arm talent of PJ Walker.
Edmonton.
He can zip it, can't he?
He really can. But, you know, you mentioned the guys missing. We've talked about it all game long in the Edmonton defense.
Timer, please reset the game clock to 49 seconds.
Half of their D-line gone. Their linebacking core, 2/3 of that gone. Secondary was intact basically, but because J.J. Ross has played 2 games now. Don't have their #1 receiver on offense. Switch some guys up front on the offensive line. and are beating the 8-win team in the West.
Walker feels some pressure, throws down the field, intercepted, taken away by Jalen Garnes. His first in the Canadian Football League will be the final dagger in a Labor Day rematch upset for Edmonton.
Trying to think off the top of my head, but this is the upset of the year so far. And
it would have to be on a short list.
Yeah,
yes.
and this is, you know, this is always a tough 2 points after the Labor Day weekend for Calgary. It always is. They've swept the series before. They've won this game before. But it's kind of like that Saskatchewan in Winnipeg. It happens, but more than not, the home team comes back after the loss on Labor Day and makes it really tough on the Stamps. And again, this weekend and last are weekends where the standings kind of get thrown to the side. But this is a big win for Mark Killam's group. This could be a win where they turn the corner.
Now won 4 of their last 5. Victories over Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa. The disappointing defeat at McMahon on Labor Day. And now a bounce-back dub at home. And Killam gets a victory against a club that he spent almost 2 decades with. And a stunning result at Commonwealth. Here's the updated standings. And about a month ago, I don't think we'd say this, but Edmonton has himself back in the fight for a possible playoff spot.
Yeah, either third in the division is definitely there, and so is...
Oh, here's some bad blood at the end of this one. And they'll try to separate them, but there was a push on the final snap. And now the Battle of Alberta lives up to its name. Cooler heads about to prevail. They're dropping the gloves. I'd be frustrated too if I was the Calgary Stampeders. And Edmonton comes away with a 31-19 victory. And as you said, a real boost for this team moving forward. They'll head out to Toronto and Hamilton, road games in the next 2 weeks.
Confidence is a funny thing. Self-doubt, you fight it all year. Is this the game where the Elks say, hey, we're legit. We can beat anybody in the league. And the other thing, when you think about Edmonton, wins against Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa again. Ottawa is the team that beat Calgary twice. 2 of their 3 losses coming in, and this is the 4th.
Cody Fajardo, a tidy day, but it was his running back, Justin Rankin, who stole the show. 204 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground as Edmonton ran all over a usually stellar Calgary defense. And it's a split in the Battle of Alberta. 31-19 your final. Thank you for joining us from Edmonton. Sports Center is next with Laura Dykin and Mark Rowe.